Yeah, hi, this is Michael from Opeth.
And here is Frederick.
Well, the Heritage album was written in 6 or 7 months in my home, pretty much. And I recorded a demo version of all the songs there. We recorded 12 tracks for the album, and it's 10 on the actual album. It was recorded in a studio called Atlantis Studios in Stockholm, downtown Stockholm, basically. And it was used to be called Metronome Studios, which was connected to the Metronome record label. And we spent 21 days there recording with an engineer called Janne Hansson. And I produced the album, and it was, the five of us. Per is playing on the album, and even if he's not in the band anymore. And our new keyboard player, Jocke Svalberg, is also playing on the album. He's playing on the title track, actually, the first song, the piano piece, which is the first time we heard him play. That's it. Well, Steven Wilson is has been a mentor for me in the last couple of years, I think. And he's been I've been a fan of his music since their third record, Sky Moves Sideways. I was listening to everything they put out, and then one day I got an email from him, and we'd just done an album called Still Life, and I immediately asked him if he wanted to produce the next album, which was going to be Blackwater Park, which he said he was like, yeah, he wrote me saying basically he liked our music, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So we did the Blackwater Park album. He was producing the vocals and some of the lead guitars on that one, and co-mixing it, you could say. And he also did the next two records, Deliverance and Damnation. Same thing, he came in and produced like the vocals and stuff like that. And he also mixed the Damnation record. And then we had we continued asking him if he wanted to work with us for the Ghost Reveries, basically for the Roadrunner catalog, the Ghost Reveries and the Watershed record. But he was busy with Porcupine Tree at the time, and asked him again. He actually said, like, next time I want to be involved, And he did the mix together with me for the Heritage record. And he's one of those guys we just get along. We never really looked at bringing other people into the band in terms of helping us out with productions and stuff like that, apart from him, because his musical references are, we listen to a lot of the same type of bands, and we seem to have the same idea on what good and bad music is, if you know what I mean. And he's just very easy to work with, So I love to work with him again, And we have also, myself and him, have this project that we've working on at the moment. It's coming out next year, I think.
Well, the title Heritage connects with the music, really. It's about our musical heritage, I would say.
Mm. Yeah, the Swedish folk music basically has been very important for everyone in Sweden, I think. Even if you're not a music fan, you're aware of, I think everyone likes that type of sound. There's you can't compare it to anything else. It's only found there. And that was one of the things that we picked up, throughout our discography. There's bits and pieces in there, but it's more apparent on the Heritage record than ever before. And also basically all the inspiration for the music was taken from older music, like the 60s psychedelic scene and the progressive scene of the 70s, and also the hard rock scene, that started in the 70s and into the 80s. I came up with the concept. It was actually our manager who said, like, it would be cool with a tree or something like that. Once I heard some of the music, and that idea stuck to my head, and I came up with the rest of the concept and everything, which is, on paper, it's a fairly outrageous concept, But Travis Smith did the artwork, and he's been working with us since the Still Life record in 98, 99, something like that. And I was surprised he kind of understood what I was looking for, and it's basically exactly the way I envisioned it. It's amazing. I think he's never done anything that looks quite like that one, and we certainly never had anything like that one before. And it caused a big stir in the metal underground. A lot of people loving it, a lot of people hating it, a lot of people think it's a joke, but it is. I mean, it's quite humorous in a way, that the picture, but it's got a great sense of seriousness to it as well. There's no screams like death metal screams on this album, but that was basically because of the songs. There was no place for that type of vocals. I don't want to put it in there just because some people expect us to do it. We always kind of go with the flow. The songs kind of take shape, and you just make decisions after that, if you know what I mean. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. That might be a death metal record. You never know. But that's the beauty of Opeth, I think. I don't want people to know what they're gonna get. We're simply not one of those bands. So it's a little bit of a take it or leave it attitude. And we didn't want it to be a ballad album. Just because there's no like screams on there doesn't mean that it's not intense. I think this album has a higher intensity than some of the metal records that we've done. Pretty much, it's a cocky little record, I think. And some people obviously not gonna like the fact that I'm not screaming on that album. But I mean, if that's the only thing you like about Opeth, then I mean, we're not really your band. I think you have to be a bit more open-minded than that if you're gonna be able to kind of understand what we're doing.
But then again, the clean vocals on the album has taken another level in a way. I think Michael pushed his voice, so he sings more aggressive with his clean voice on this one, which I think is a good thing to get the more dynamics as people are used to hear Opeth.
I tried to develop that voice, with the screams. I don't really know where to take it. I haven't been able to develop that type of vocals for years. I don't know what else I can do with it. But the clean singing is something I'm constantly developing, and I feel I'm becoming a better singer with as time goes by.
I remember when Michael told me there's not going to be any death metal vocals on this album, I was a bit, are you really sure about that? And then when I went over to Michael's house and he played me the stuff, I realized his vision, and there's actually no room for death metal vocals on this one. So it would be kind of stupid just to squeeze it in there just for having it. Yeah, the 5.1 mix on the album, I think, turned out really good, that Steven did. I heard it 2 times now, and there's so many details in there that it's a bit of a journey.
It is. It's bringing new life into the record. I listened to the regular stereo mix, I don't know how many times, lots of times anyways. And the first time we had a playback for journalists in Stockholm, playing the whole album in a surround mix with like Genelec, a nice system. And I sat down to just go through it all to see if everything was there, because I never heard the mix and I just wanted to see what it sounded like. And I ended up like listening to the whole thing. It was like hearing it for the first time again. So it was beautiful. I immediately texted Steve's like, wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful mix, because I just gave him, he asked me, do you want to be involved in this mix? Do you have any suggestions? And I'm like, no, you take care of it. You have more of a knowledge about that type of thing. Just try and base it as much as you can on the stereo mix, which has already been approved by me, So he just did it on his own, and it's a beautiful, beautiful mix. I think it's, I have one of those surround systems, but I haven't listened to that many records in the surround environment, basically. But this one is I think it's amazing. There's a bunch, I like them all, otherwise they would never been recorded. But there's a few songs that just everything clicked perfectly with the performances, with the writing, with the sound and the mix and everything. So one of my favorites, my personal favorite actually, is a song called Häxprocess, which is a Swedish word, which I can't really say why, it just came, it just clicked with me. It's a very emotional song, I think. And I also like The Devil's Orchard, which is going to be the first single, which is more of an up-tempo kind of intense song.
Yeah, The Devil's Orchard is my favorite. Also, I really like the song Folklore, which has a really cool groove to it.
And the Panther is a very strange song. It goes between like almost like a jazz type of.
Yeah, Axis playing with brushes, and it's actually 2 different drum kits in that song. You have the rock kit in the solo section, where I try to play some more widdly woo type of solo.
Like fusion type of solo.
Yeah,
It's
Michael
nice.
wanted me to play something in the vein of fusion. I'm not really a fusion player, so I kind of faked it around, but it came out pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I got a new signature model out, the Fredrik Åkesson model with PRS SE, which are they're gonna be around 900 quids, I think. And can really stand up for this guitar. I bounced ID with Douglas Shive at PRS Guitars for I think it was about 1.5 years. Really picky with the details, and it's a solid workhorse, I would say, and I can really recommend it to any young kid who want to pick up a proper guitar and don't have 4,000 quids to spend on an expensive one.
Yeah, I have my model, which I never figured I'd get my own signature guitar, let alone with PRS guitars, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the best guitar brand in the world. And we've, I think it was Paul Reed himself who just, would you be interested in this? And I'm like, well, of course, So we developed a guitar from my specs, basically. It's a 24 fret single cut guitar. It's kind of posh looking, gold hardware, and like it's got the Opeth O underneath the bridge, and it's a very nice guitar. Just basically, it's based on a guitar that they built for me before, that I'm playing on the Roundhouse tapes DVD, if you've seen that, which was a really quite expensive guitar, a Modern Eagle model, which was, I think, one of the last of its kind, because they had a little room for like these select pieces of wood that they only use for the very, very best guitars. And this has, some Brazilian rosewood in it, which is, it's a extinct, basically, piece of wood. Maybe it's wrong to use it, but they had some pieces of really nice woods that I use for this guitar, and basically I based my SC, which is a Korean-made guitar, but I don't want to have a signature model that nobody can afford to buy. Like Fredrik said, if you put something out that's going to be like thousands of pounds, and nobody will, like our fans, I guess most of our like younger fans don't have that type of income to be able to buy a guitar like that. So it's roughly around 700-800 quid, I think, and for that money you get a really good guitar, and I'm playing that guitar all the time, and I'm switching between some of the more expensive guitars and playing my own guitar, and I always kind of long for my SE when I'm playing some of the other PRS guitars. Not saying they're bad or anything, they're amazing guitars, but mine just click with me, and it's a really good feeling to put your name on something that you actually love, if you know what I mean, as opposed to just putting a product out. This is the guitar I love to play. Sonosphere was nice for us. We had a big crowd watching us, and I think we played pretty well. I'm not sure what it sounded like because it's all like hastily done there, but it was nice. We played for 50 minutes and had a good time, and the crowd seemed to like it. I didn't see any other bands because there was no time. We were doing some press, and it was raining, and I saw some of the Bill Bailey set from the side of the stage, but I couldn't really hear what they were doing, to be honest.
It was a great experience. Really good crowd, and we had a great time. I wish we could have played a bit longer, but we managed to squeeze some golden oldies in there.
Yeah, for the rest of the year we're going to be doing, like now we're doing mostly press and stuff like that in support of the album coming out in September 19th. And as the album comes out, we're going to immediately go on a US tour for 6 weeks or something like that, and then we have a couple of days off, and then we head off on a European tour. And obviously we're going to hit the UK, playing the Brixton. I don't know what date it is, but you can find it on our websites. We're playing Manchester. I think we're playing like Newcastle and stuff like that, but I'm not really sure where we're going to be in the UK. But UK is a very important territory for us, so we're not just gonna do this tour. We're coming back more times, you know. So we're gonna try and hit as many cities as possible, I guess. You know, we always enjoyed playing here. UK was the first overseas show that we ever did, and we have a very loyal following here. So very much looking forward to playing the UK.